What did this guy look like?
Did you bring the manifesto?
So let me break it down.
All right.
So when this
For our
happened,
one
I had
listener.
to call in a couple of the boys and record one of these podcasts immediately. So I was like, this would be fucking funny to talk about. So I come into work today, and or I was like, one of the other managers was just about to leave or whatever, and he calls me into the office and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you for a second. And I'm like, all right. So he goes, and we have our other female manager there, who's like a key holder, but she's a woman. I don't know why I felt the need to. But anyway, she's like,
Women
he like shows me a picture of
this
this random guy, and he's like, yeah, if you see, and the cop was like leaving as I was walking in, so I was like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened? And he's like, yeah, he shows me a picture of this guy, he's got like a fucking snapback and like, I don't know, like a goatee, like, he looks weird. He doesn't look like the type of guy who would do this. I'll say that. He's not like a bad looking guy.
Huh.
From what I can see. But like he's like, yeah, if you see this guy, make sure you either call, like he has the card of the officer or whatever, call this guy and tell him that he's not allowed to shop here anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, well, he harassed 2 of our employees. And I'm like, elaborate. So he's like, so I guess what he was doing is this guy came in and he was like really aggressively trying to like go out with the female manager up there, and she was telling me like, yeah, he came in like 3 separate times being like, you know, come get a beer with me and shit like that, and I think you're really beautiful, and just like kept like going up there specifically to talk to her. And I guess he like, and then she hands me this weird like stapled but on like nice parchment and like cursive font paper.
Based on the pictures, it looked pretty nice.
It wasn't. He just used fancy paper for his printer and then just printed it out and like stapled it as the binding. And he's like, yeah, this was his gift to me. And she's like, yeah, it's really creepy, you should look at it. And it's this fucking pamphlet of like, I don't know, the first paragraph is like, he's like talking about this fucking martial arts thing.
Yeah, dude, that was my favorite part of it.
I don't even know if it's real.
I didn't read it all.
No, it's not a real martial art. It's like he made up his own bullshit.
Yeah, it's not, and he's like, it's a mix of like, here, I have to pull it up.
Yeah, dude.
It was a mix of different philosophies.
I wish I could have like highlighted the picture. Because there were so many lines. Like when you guys were talking in the chat, when you were talking about wanted to mention this on the podcast, I was like, yo, I gotta like highlight some of this shit. This is insane.
Pictures, shared photos.
Oh yeah, here it is. He calls it Stempo.
Stempo.
Martial way of spiritual storms theory. Also, okay, so for like the one alcoholic, depressed teenager who listens to our podcast, I can't spell for shit and my grammar is terrible. I was reading this and I was like, whoa. This is some bad grammar and spelling, dude.
Yeah, he's like, so I'm not going to read like this one all the way because it's kind of a lot.
The Stempo one?
Yeah, but basically he's just saying that like, and the way that he writes is like...
weird.
So fucking weird. He's like trying really, really hard to sound smart, but he's dumb, so like...
Yeah, like you know how Zach is like... He talks really fancy, but he's also intelligent. Like the things.
But he knows the meaning of the word.
Yeah, exactly. Like he knows how to use. He knows when to use what words.
Yeah, so it's called simplex. And the funniest thing for me is just like, okay, so this guy.
Wait, what's called simplex?
That's what it's called, simplex on the cover. Simplex.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, and it's some fucking upside down picture of this space guy.
Oh, what do they call that for knights? What was that? Like their symbols, like their coat of arms.
It's his coat of arms. Well, because the weirdest thing for me is like she like didn't know him. So did he like see her before and he's like, I'm gonna print this out and give it to her, or does he just have?
Does he just have a bunch of these that he just hands out?
Well, she said that he came in like 3 times. I should have been like, hey, you want to come on the podcast and talk about it? She would have told us.
Dude,
but like
missed opportunity.
Maybe. I'll ask if she wants to come on our podcast that we don't post anywhere sometime.
Yep.
But she was like, yeah, he came in like 3 times. So I'm like, he probably came in once. I bet you already had this all written up. Because there's no way he could have just come up with this like on the spot. And he's like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to grab this thing that I have printed out and give it to her. And that'll make her like want to go out with me, right? Because it'll make me seem all smart and shit. And I I don't know. Here's my favorite. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
It's either Arrow Blades or Victims Cry. Victims Cry.
I didn't read through the whole thing.
Victims. Okay, so the best part of the fucking poems he has at the end. Okay. The rest of it, he has some weird fucking symbols drawn in it. It's all fucking bullshit.
His bullshit ripoff of the yin yang symbol with the cringy dragons.
Yeah. The Victims Cry, and it's like fucking a weird slam poem. In sighs slipped beneath the skin, desire drenched in abyssal kiss of breath, lifted longing lounges upon the soul, ever eavesdropping upon slightest sound, leaving dazed craze of surging, swaying. Moments of you held within my midst could only be mentioned by a moaning moon, blushing black against eternal night, embrace containing concealing smiles, amidst torrential drippings of light, so sway with me in a singular sigh, satin to slip beyond your thigh, crush to me the press of breast, releasing rhythm, heated cries, destiny surrenders as power hides, bodies against gaining reason to lie, ever explanation expanding against the eyes, always revealing, yet never unveiling, the victim who forgets to cry.
Beautiful.
Like, what the fuck? Just picture working as some dude just like hands you a book with this fucking poem in it.
That's creepy, dude.
Like, what is he? I don't even know what he's trying to say something with it. Is he saying like?
I don't know what the fuck.
It sounds like he's gonna rape someone. Like.
I didn't.
The victim. It's because he says victim. That's what bothers me. Why does he have to say? Or is it maybe that happened to him? I don't know.
Maybe he got touched as a little boy.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's like this.
Here, I didn't read the Arrow.
Arrow Blades is good.
Yeah, here I'm gonna try and find like my favorite lines. If you want to talk about the Arrow Blade.
I didn't even read the whole thing.
So Arrow Blades.
Yeah, I didn't either. I read
what are the highlights?
So here's this. I have to look at the one because there's somewhere he like rhymes with porn. He puts the word porn like 4 different times in Arrow Blades.
What?
He says, so here's the strangest thing. Unspoken eyes open wide in disguise. Just listen to. This is really long, so I'm not gonna read the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Here.
Yeah.
Postulate, penetrate, like magistrate of perfect hate, and empty into an unborn. So it's all shit like that, like weathered whore of always more. Where's the fucking porn? He says porn. I'm just trying to see where it is.
You know when we rap in the car and it's always horrible.
This is
like the goth version of that.
He worked on this. He really worked on this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the other weird thing. It's like it's all written in like calligraphy and everything. Like it looks like it was printed.
Yeah.
I don't know, not professionally, like, but
it doesn't look like.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it came out of like the library printer.
With wings that fold in moans of pleasure, pushed inner poised, positioned upon the need of which we feed, finding sex inside destruction. Beside the lies stream to eyes, defining why of the it that is to be, coincides conveniently to most that find this life, a death enslaved is alive.
Fucking what?
Oh, here we go. Rising storm of rage, engaged in combat porn, of destroying scorn for those who tolls were given home. A why love hurts us so.
I don't understand what it's trying to say.
I don't understand either. That one's fucking weird. He's just sneaking. No, but we were all like laughing about this shit. All the managers, we just sat there like reading it, and I'm like. I would almost feel bad for the guy, but the fact that he was like harassing one of my employees and so he was not like eloquent when he was talking to her. He was like
he's being really aggressive about it.
That's what it sounds like. I wasn't there. Well, the other thing is that here's the kicker. So he spends like, I would say he spends like a lot of time trying to get to my manager, my female manager, and then another female who was working up on book floor. I guess like. As he was leaving, he grabs a book and like smacks her on the ass with it.
What?
But he wasn't even talking to her. So like, what was the point of that? He was just like, I'll go for this one. Like, what the fuck?
So he just does this.
Yeah, no, that's why we called the cops.
So the cops come in and then they
arrest
him.
It must have been tomorrow, and they didn't because when the cop came in, he was like, he asked the girl who got her ass off. He was like, "Do you want to press charges against this guy?" And she said no. She could have. So
damn.
But basically, all that happened is he's banned, which I'm like, out of all the people we've had to ban from that store, maybe like 2 for like stealing and shit. Like that's someone that I would actually think would actually like try to come back.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know. It's worrisome. It worried me a little bit because I was like, the incels, like that's the kind of shit that you see from like someone who's about to like fucking shoot up like a gay club or some shit. You know, that's how it starts. Is they get rejected by women and then it like it's a symptom of a larger issue, but and they just grab a gun and
Kill some people.
fucking kill some people.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
He's
gonna shoot up the store.
Well, I just want to know like how much he buys into his own BS because like here's my
He
favorite.
does.
Here's my favorite part. Oh shit! Gotta get the picture back up on my phone. Hello. So it's when he's describing his Stempo, the martial way spiritual storms theory.
No, you gotta list off all the different.
No, I'm about.
Like,
yeah, I'm about
do
to.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so it says. Okay, so he's talking about his bullshit thing, and then he's like, okay, so it takes inspiration from these martial arts, such as Taekwondo, Aikido, Judo, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got, like, weird shit, like, he just puts joint lock, breaking / submission. That's not a martial art.
Yeah, it's all this shit. And I'm like, and my one of my managers was like, I want to fight this guy because he's like a black belt in like I think Taekwondo or some shit, something like that. And he was like, I want to fight this guy. 1, because he's an asshole, and 2, I just want to know what the fuck he's talking about when this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what he tries to do.
Well, it gets better when he's talking about like the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect of it, because what does it says? In addition to the physical study, Stempo's core philosophy incorporates numerous sources of intellectual and spiritual perfectionism.
Perceptionism.
Perceptionism.
Perceptionalism.
Oh, fuck.
Is that a word?
I don't know.
But it's not just the fighting style. And then he starts talking about it like it's fucking Aikido or something.
Right, but here, okay, so, oh man. So then he just starts listing shit. So this is what he draws from psychology, just psychology as a whole, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then biochemistry. I don't know what spiritual.
Biochemistry?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to mutate myself into a higher being. What the fuck is he talking about?
If you take the ethanol molecule, the propane. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Chemistry is not spiritual. Okay, acupressure. I think he meant acupuncture.
I think he's talking about acupuncture.
Because
he might be.
And then he said,
I don't know what
the next one.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real, but.
And then the next one is sound and wavelength.
He's like, whoa.
Physiology, druid teachings.
Probably gets high on idos.
What the fuck is a druid teaching?
Druids is like Stonehenge, right?
Yeah, and he said when he's like, this comes from all this stuff. He's talking about like fucking Wicca.
What's
like,
Wicca?
It's like
I've heard of Wiccans, but not Wicca.
Wiccans are Wicca.
It's Wicca is like what they.
Oh.
It's like witchcraft. Well, I shouldn't say
like
witchcraft.
So it's like the plural.
But it's like herbs.
It's them
and
pretending they have magical powers.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Acupressure is an alternative medicine technique similar in principle to acupuncture.
All right, so we'll give him
It
the
is
benefit
based
of the
on
doubt.
the concept of life energy, which flows through meridians in the body. In treatment, physical pressure is applied to acupuncture points with the aim of clearing blockages in these meridians.
Sounds pretty ridiculous.
So how's
Okay. I don't know
he?
how.
No, he
I
also
don't
talks
know.
about like hitting pressure points. Like, and my friend was saying the very beginning is he said it was like when he's first talking about it, that first block of the philosophy. He's like, that's just a copy of like Bruce Lee's like whatever his fighting style was.
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, he's like, that's just a copy of like the Jeet Kune Do philosophy. He's pretty much just copying it and making it sound like it's his own.
It's pretty weak. Well, when he gets into like talking about the spiritual shit, it just gets bonkers too, because he's talking. Oh man, it was
Like, what planet is this guy on? It
Talking-
worries me. He's obviously not all there.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
don't
it seems
think he
pretty
is.
crazy.
Because what was it? It was something about like orbs within, or no, spheres within spheres. Where
So
is it?
did a cop actually have
Yeah.
to come and escort him out, or
Well, no. It
He
was,
had
this
already
was
left.
after the fact.
This was
I don't
after
know
he'd
why.
been kicked
I
out.
would have called him. Maybe they just didn't think about it. I think he pretty much smacked her ass and left after that.
And then
Because I guess this was what, like Tuesday night or whatever.
What a weirdo, dude. Do you think incels have always existed, or the internet just like has allowed society to become aware of them?
Yeah, I think that the incels were born. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think like being an incel, that's not an inherent like philosophy. I feel like it's learned. One, if you have like problems that you're not addressing.
wait, so does he actually talk about being?
No, he
an
doesn't.
incel?
It just looks like
Yes.
something an incel would write. He doesn't.
So what the fuck exactly is an incel?
It's basically like. Well, here, let me.
It stands for involuntary celibate.
There's a guy. I don't know if the video is still up. Let me see because. So.
They're like, I don't know. They're people who.
There was one that like. He shot up somewhere.
Are you talking San
yeah.
Bernardino?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
before he did, he like. There's a YouTube video of his manifesto, and that's basically what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, he had his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that dude, I can't remember his name. But yeah.
It was like Elliot something.
Yeah, I read it. I did read his manifesto,
Yeah.
parts of it. And dude, that guy had problems. He was just.
But essentially, it's in layman's, it's like an illogical hatred toward women.
Yeah, it
Basically.
basically boils down to I'm not having sex, and instead of looking
Yeah.
at myself and reflecting on
fixing
why.
personal problems.
Yeah, and like maybe
that
going
are
to the gym
obvious.
or getting a job or I don't know something, fixing your
But
own
that's
problems.
not even the crux of it. It's just that, like, yeah, they just think because women aren't, and that's also in tune with like the nice guys philosophy.
Mhm.
I'm such a nice guy. You girls only date douchebags, and the only reason no girl will date me is because I'm nice.
But incels get weirder about it because like they ignore self-reflection. They're like, oh, no one's fucking me, and then instead of doing anything about it, they blame women, and then it like becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, they're like, they think that, because women are the way that they are, there's no way that I'm ever going to
they just
to find love with a woman.
like they give up on any hope of ever having sex because they're like, oh.
That's where it comes from, involuntary celibate, incel.
Yeah, and so they blame society because even though something was wrong with them in the first place because they weren't getting fucked, and B, they're the ones who like gave up on ever having any hope.
Yeah.
Trying to get laid.
But that's such a new thing, I feel like.
Well, I wonder. Like, I feel like these people. I wonder, like, if there were incels in like ancient Rome.
Maybe.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like.
I mean, to be honest, I think every guy like goes through some sort of period where they kind of think along those lines. I think it's a part of like growing up, personally. Like I can remember, not times where I've been like, I want to fucking kill women because they won't date me, but more like thinking that I did definitely have like oh, this girl doesn't like me. Why doesn't she like me? I'm so nice.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like I don't understand what I'm missing here and why she doesn't win. And sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
She might just not like you. Like,
Yeah.
you can be the nicest fucking guy in the world. If she's not interested, she's not interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as the people on Love Island say,
Mm-hmm.
not my type, babe.
You're not my type. You don't my type, babe.
Oi, just not my type.
Yeah.
Crack on.
I don't know. It's a very toxic way to think, and
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
It's like how you get school shooters and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's people who.
So about how old was this guy?
I don't know. He looked like. I only have one. Oh, you know what? I have a picture of him.
Oh, really?
Obviously, for
I gotta see
for
what this guy
reasons
looks like.
you listeners will never see what he looks like, but because I can't really do that. But
We can post up his picture online.
hey, we'll watch it.
What a-
This is really morbid. What if he does some fucked up shit, and I'll be like, I have the podcast where he talked about his manifesto. This is our big break.
This is a big break.
Yeah, it's not a good picture. Like you can't really, you can kind of see.
I don't know. I have this very specific. Oh, that's not at all what I thought.
Exactly, it's not who you think.
I got his facial hair right.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the shirt, and he's got really baggy pants, dude. You just see.
No, I'd never seen that guy before. I mean, maybe I have, but I mean, I see like hundreds of people. So.
Yeah, I think he's pretty creepy looking.
He is. Well, now that we
really
know all
bad.
that stuff, what he's got? What do you got in those big ass baggy pants, dude? Like,
Yeah,
what the
look.
fuck?
You know
10
what-
AR-15s.
Yeah.
That's scary.
You can see all those bulging muscles too from all the Stempo training.